Welcome back. All right, so some news of the day for all you fine people watching wherever you're watching globally. Andrej Sekera has announced his retirement. Slovakian defenseman who had a nice long career in the NHL, drafted in 2004, played for Buffalo, Carolina, the Kings, the Oilers, as well as the Dallas Stars. Retires with 842 games played, 51 goals, 202 assists, 253 points. I thought he was underrated with Dallas. The 3 years he was there, not in the lineup regularly. There were issues at times, but again, as a veteran defenseman, a depth defenseman, I thought he did well. So all the best to Sekera in retirement. There will at some point be a career video on Andrej Sekera. Kahkonen has avoided the dreaded arbitrations. This is where these guys start to sign because you do not want to go to arbitration. He signs a 2-year extension with the San Jose Sharks, the cap hit being $2.75 million. I think that's pretty decent. I don't think there's any risk really from a San Jose perspective. And for Kahkonen, good goaltender. Didn't have a great run in Minnesota this past year, but after he got to San Jose, I thought he played well. So I'm glad to see he's getting another opportunity there. Still, I think one too many goaltenders for San Jose right now. Adin Hill's still under contract, right? So we'll see what they do with their goaltending from here. Speaking of goaltenders, Sam Montembeault has signed a 2-year extension with the Montreal Canadiens worth $1 million per season. So very reasonable cap hit. Again, we don't know the status of Carey Price coming into this season. He's supposed to see a doctor pretty soon here, and we may have some clarification on what the plans will be going forward with Price. Worst case scenario, Montembeault's a number 3. They could look to move him or waive him if they're going to have Allen and Price, but I don't think they're betting on having Price and Allen. And even if Price's knee has a good prognosis, you might still want to carry 3 goaltenders because I don't think Carey Price is going to be able to play a full season. So Montembeault gives them some good depth. I thought he had some good games for them this past season. We'll see how it goes. Mike Matheson, when interviewed about his move to Montreal, he's excited. He's anxious to show what he can do in front of his hometown fans. Grew up around Montreal, and so he's excited to be coming home. Saying all the right things. The Montreal Canadiens, I think, have had a half-decent offseason. The one thing is that their thunder gets stolen kind of by what other teams in the division are doing. Detroit and Ottawa is good examples there. But I don't think Montreal has made anything or made any moves that have been really bad on paper. I think there's some good moves being made here, and I think it's with a vision of the future. And so, yeah. We'll see how things go for Matheson in Montreal. Interesting signing, and I say interesting because I think John Leonard, there's still potential there. He's 23 years of age, signs for league minimum, $750,000 with the Nashville Predators. This past season in San Jose, he took a step back. Just the 14 games played, 1 goal, 1 assist. He was not given a qualifying offer from San Jose, so he went to the market. And so now he's a member of the Preds. I think, again, he could develop into a decent bottom 6 forward. Only being 23 years of age, that potential is still there. Wishing him all the best with that. But yeah, Nashville, good depth signing for them. We'll see how that turns out. Pat Brisson deciding to really get things going in terms of the discussions around Dubois, where he mentioned that his agent, or the agent mentioned that his client, Pierre-Luc Dubois, wouldn't mind playing for Montreal. Kind of likes the thought of playing in Montreal. The way not to endear yourself to your fan bases is to look offward to other places. Dubois, of course, played his way out of Columbus, got to Winnipeg, had a good start to this past season. It was a rougher second half than first half. I know he's not the only Jet to have that kind of an experience, but yeah, for Dubois, he's 2 years away from being an unrestricted free agent. They've made it pretty clear that's what the plan is. The one thing is that if Brisson's coming out and saying, yeah, so he'd be willing to sign that long-term extension at Montreal, but not owned by Montreal, it really ties the hands of Kevin Cheveldayoff. You can't then move him, right? Like, you can't sit down and go, okay, so we're going to trade his signing rights to Tampa. Just using Tampa as an example. But if he only wants to play in Montreal, if that's the plan, if you're a team that, I mean, and Tampa would probably be able to talk him into sticking around if he wanted to. But if you're a team that's looking to acquire a center, let's say Vancouver decide, you know what, we're looking to, we could use another center. Why pick up a guy if you know that 2 years down the road he's going to leave you to go to Montreal? So that's the thing, right? Will his rights be traded? does Winnipeg just sign him for a couple of years? What's going to happen here? Yeah, so Dubois not endearing himself, really, I wouldn't think, to Winnipeg fans or to management. And his agent coming out and saying that, well, he's an experienced agent, knows what he's doing there, and so we'll see what happens. So I'd be interested to know your thoughts. I know that Twitter's been all the twittering regarding the Dubois statement and what Montreal might have to give up to get him, and the armchair GMing gets ridiculous, but it's entertaining. It's funny. Anyways, because I look at this and I'm like, that's like 8 different names. None of those guys are very good, but at least you've thrown in 8 names going to Winnipeg. Good job. But anyways, yeah, so there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.